International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
It's easier said than done to have these giant meetings. The future of the running back position. What can they do? What can running backs do to earn fair market deals? Because the market has really depressed the running back situation. But it's a battle because the prime years for these running backs usually come on their rookie deals. And they go out there and they rush for 1,500 yards. They get 350 carries per season. They score double-digit touchdowns. And these running backs are ready to get paid. Like, we have done our work. That contract is coming. And the NFL teams are coming back going, no, no, no. That tread on that tire, you have worn that off. So despite what you have done, you are not worth that value moving forward. And reality can hit you. And it's easy to say, I'm going to hold out. It's easy to say we're going to change the position until you're one of these running backs. And you're sitting there looking at your bank account going, am I really going to go an entire year without any of these direct deposits, without any of these checks cashing? I don't think so. And Saquon Barkley has made that decision. He has agreed to a 1-year deal with the New York Giants worth up to $11 million, much less than the Giants star running back had hoped, but it's just the reality of the situation. But Giant fans, you should be smiling this morning because we know if you have one of those guys, he is a difference maker. And Saquon Barkley, he helped Daniel Jones get $160 million. So hopefully Daniel Jones and that Giants offense can help Saquon Barkley get a couple more paydays after this season. What it do? Welcome into the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, DC, our quarterback Ned James with you this morning. And for the New York Giants, that offense, so much of that production came through Saquon Barkley. And Ned, we have talked about right now in the NFL, they're not necessarily looking at it as the player. They're looking at it as the run game. They'll figure out a way to get the run game going. But this specific player, Saquon Barkley, when he is on the field, when he has the ball, he is a big-time difference maker for the New York Giants.
Yeah, and I think we had this conversation a while back. I think you and I talked with Dontrell Moore once about the fact that is it the running back or is it the offensive line? Should we give these running backs that much credit? I believe so. Apparently, NFL does not. They believe it's probably offensive line because they don't want to compensate these great running backs. I think Saquon Barkley coming in on that 1-year deal kind of cuts them a little bit of a break. They get him into camp. They can really actually start doing things now to get this offense going with the quarterback position, Daniel Jones, being just an average position, but making the most money. Most teams, I guess they've kind of, settled with the fact that they know that, the quarterback's going to make the most money despite the talent. I'm hoping that at some point, the running back position just cycles back to where the running back is important because I do think it's important later in the season. People are thinking that the passing game, because of the rules, are what's more favorable to compensate with receivers and quarterbacks. But we'll have to wait and see. It always cycles. I mean, there was a time when running backs were getting paid. Now they're not. So hopefully that'll change.
And it's the running game matters. You have to run the football. But all the stats, everything you look at, it just tells you the value is not there in committing large money to one position. This will blow your mind. Did you know that right now the average kicker makes more per season than the average running back? Kickers are at $2.2 million. Running backs are at $1.8 million. And I get it. The whole fans are like, oh, you're only making $1.8 million. But that's where the NFL is right now. And you know what, Ned James? This actually kind of opens the door because our man DC yesterday, he had a couple moments. He was questioning whether or not you were saying what you were saying yesterday. And I'd like you to explain one of your comments because this is kind of going down that road right now. When you say offense sells tickets, defense wins games, and special teams wins championships, what do you mean by that?
What I mean is that you can use all these statistics that you find in fantasy football where the guys have 4,000, 5,000 yards or whether a guy offensive player is a 1,500-yard running back or what have you. But at the end of the day, if you can't stop people when you need to stop them, you're not going to win very many games. Your defensive ranking is going to tell more about how well your team does than your offensive rankings. And special teams, that's the hidden yardage in the game. Kickoff returns, punts, extra point field goals, now that they've backed them up. All those things are important to the actual outcome of the game. Whereas with just the offense, sure, people come into the stadium, they want to see their beautiful-looking quarterbacks. They want to see their receivers that are world-class sprinters not get decapitated. So the rules fit now where you have world-class sprinters that can go across the middle without the fear. Anthony Miller spoke about that when he came on the show. If you had the physical part of the game that came when he played, these guys wouldn't be racking up these kind of yards. The reason why they are is because of the rules. and the fact that they're taking money from defensive guys. If you touch the quarterback in any area outside, above the chest and below the waist, if you hit the quarterback, you're going to get money taken from you. So there's only a little sweet spot you can hit the quarterback in. So it's just those kind of things, that rules changes, and the fact that people they're trying to change the game so people can see these beautiful people playing quarterbacks. And quarterbacks are the worst looking athletes you've ever seen. People have pictures of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning on their wall, the worst athletes in the history of human sport. Guys can barely run and chew gum at the same time. Guys are running 5'8", 40s. I mean, these are not athletic guys who can throw the ball. Yeah, you can throw the ball. I can throw the ball. But it's just, one of those things in sport where football is a lot different. And that's why a lot of the great coaches, Belichick, those guys were offensive guys. Rocky Law was an offensive quarterback. Guys go to defense because it's so hard to manage offensive guys because of the way the game is structured. So that's what gives me my argument.
Just the egos that you guys have, man. It's just unbelievable. If you ever try to walk in a room with Ned James, sometimes his head doesn't fit through the door. It's like, I'm a quarterback. But for the New York Giants, this is one that when we talk about the run game versus the player, this is a huge win for them to get Saquon Barkley in the building on the cheap, man. 1-year deal, $11 million. He took a bit of a pay cut, a big pay cut from what was offered. They were talking about some deals that were in the range of maybe $26 to $30 million over 2 years. This is going to be a slow process for a running back. So let's look at the financial side for a second for these guys, because that impacts team building, that impacts the teams that you root for. They got to start chipping away, I think, 2 to 3 year deals, guaranteed money, and that's going to start to bring the level up for everyone else. And I've heard the conversation, people saying, why, it's only such a small handful of running backs. Why does it matter? Just sign your contract and play. Well, it matters because those small handful of running backs affect the market for everyone else. And so when you see a Joe Mixon, you see an Aaron Jones taking pay cuts, those are some of the top 10, 15 guys in the NFL right now.
Melvin Gordon taking 3, that's huge.
Yeah. And so these guys like Saquon Barkley, they don't want to sign these deals, but I think they have to start chipping away 2-3 year deals and trying to get most of that guaranteed.
The problem, though, is that the CBA exists, and it's set up in a way where you can lock a guy down for 6 years, not really pay him anything.
Almost 7 if he's a first round.
Exactly, yeah. So when you look at it that way, knowing that a running back has a 3-year lifespan, why would you pay him?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're just trying to fill 500 runs a year, you find one guy who can take 250 and then spread the rest amongst 3 guys. Like, look at the Ravens. They have a room that's making less, 4 guys making less than Saquon right now. That's roster construction right there. That's how you pay $60 million to a quarterback.
Yeah, but that's what you pay agents for. I mean, agents are supposed to negotiate these deals, get more guaranteed money, get more guaranteed years. There's ways to structure these contracts to benefit these guys whose careers don't last quite as long. If you're a top talent, there's ways around those issues. There always has been, and there always will be. It's just you got to get creative. I mean, running backs got to get creative. Maybe they got to go and hang out in Mexico for a couple months and not come back to the States or answer any phone calls.
Right, we'll see how it works out for Josh Jacobs, because they are going 2 different directions. Josh Jacobs reports where he was on a plane out of Las Vegas over the last couple of days while the Raiders were reporting to training camp, and then Saquon Barkley is in on a 1-year, $11 million deal. How you feeling, Giants fans? Getting your star running back in. Daniel Jones last year kind of fell in love with the dude. He got his new deal. Brian Daboll, that offense moving forward with Saquon Barkley. What will that mean for the Giants? And an NFC that we feel it's open. We talk about the Eagles. We talk about the 49ers because of their roster construction. Who's that next team? Who can make that jump? This Giants team won a playoff game last year on the road against a double-digit win Minnesota Vikings team. We'll be breaking that down all morning long, taking your thoughts. 505-246-0610. It is the Sports Animal hotline, also the Sports Animal text line, and we are still registering you for golf. It is 15 years of the opening drive. We've been celebrating that all month long. You've heard the features, but this Friday, it is going down for real. We're having a big-time morning show Friday morning. We're playing golf at Sandia, and we are inviting you out there. If you'd like your chance to play some golf, win a foursome with you and your friends at Sandia Golf Club. All you got to do is call DC and give him your name, and we will pick our winners on Wednesday and let you know about playing golf at Sandia. So if you'd like just a chance, all you got to do is call, give DC your name for a chance to win 505-246-0610. He hinted at one of those running back rooms, the Baltimore Ravens. I know that catches DC's eye. Who do you like? We're always talking about contenders. Who is the real contender? Who will win the AFC and the NFC? It's that time, looking way ahead, but it's what we do. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact.
Got a little wiggle room. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Some of them are the leading rushers, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Times are changing, and we're getting our boy Ned James on board with the future of the NFL. And who is catching your eye? It's time. It's training camp. Breaking news all the time. Saquon Barkley, he has signed a 1-year, $11 million deal. By the way, I think that is huge for the New York Giants. We talk about the run game. And really, the reality is the running game matters. The running back doesn't matter when it comes to their salary. However, when you look at the New York Giants specifically, when you have that guy in Saquon Barkley, he makes everyone else better because they don't have top flight talent on the outside. I am really interested to see how Darren Waller plays, if he is healthy and on the field and becoming a target for Daniel Jones. But this is a huge move for the New York Giants, and they feel they want to take that next step forward, become a double-digit win team, become a team that, all right, build off of last year's playoff win at Minnesota and take another step in the process. But who you like? Who are the teams? Because we sit here, and the buzz has been all summer long. Oh, the AFC is stacked. It's going to be so hard. All right, who's coming out on top? Who are the teams that are going to be able to get it done? It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Bucket, DC, our quarterback, our coach, Ned James, joining us this morning. And DC, there's a team that you're wrapping your mind around right now. Who is catching your eye when you look at that list in the AFC? You're like, you know what? I think it's going to be them.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I guess I would say I can't nail one down right now, but the one that has been standing out the most is definitely the Ravens. It's easy to say Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. Yeah, they're going to be good. I get that. I think the Ravens are a sneaky pick to go all the way. I could definitely see them coming out of the AFC. I love what they're doing in their running back room. They're getting them Lamar Jackson deal was a huge thing for that team, and allows them to really, because it's a new offensive system they're running. So it allows them to spend the entire offseason learning that and preparing to, use it during the season. So their defense is stout. They're one of the top defenses. They have the pieces in place right now to make that run. And I think it's, again, so easy to look at that top tier and maybe leave them out. But I think you're sleeping on the Ravens if you're not considering them with that top Chiefs, Bills, Bengals group.
And the offensive changes, if they do get a little bit better passing the football, if there are more explosive plays downfield, that's only going to open things up for Lamar Jackson, because it's different. Greg Roman, he ran a system where it was the run game. It was a lot on Lamar Jackson. Todd Monken comes in, and they want to take more downfield shots. Now, if you have the stout running game, Lamar Jackson still being athletic, now you got to get enough from Odell Beckham Jr. Unfortunately, Rashad Bateman, one of their first-round picks 2 years ago, he's got that foot issue still. But with Zay Flowers, a first-round pick. Baltimore is always going to be competitive. And that division, the AFC North, is that's been one of the most competitive divisions in football, like every single year. And we get hyped about the AFC East. It was the AFC West last year, but this is the division that if you run it down, Cincinnati's that other contender we always talk about. Cleveland with that giant X factor in Deshaun Watson, and Pittsburgh is not going to roll over. They're going to beat each other up in that division. But Ned, when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they always have the pieces to be there at the end.
Yeah, but I think what I heard in that comment from DC is that he's coming over to my team. He's coming over to my side now. He's thinking defense. He's saying outside of Kansas City, Buffalo, and Cincinnati, he thinks the defense of Baltimore is what's going to take them over the top. I didn't hear him mention offense. I didn't hear him mention really that he thinks that their offense outside of those three are much better than all the other offenses in the AFC, Miami, the New York Jets, Cleveland, the Chargers, the Broncos, all those other AFC teams with these offensive juggernauts. He's thinking that their defense is what's going to get him over the top this year. And it's because of the quarterback position. I mean, you could say Lamar Jackson got the big contract, but are people putting Lamar Jackson in their top 3, top 4 quarterback lists?
He's getting left out a lot, and it's kind of surprising. I think the injuries late last year, it's the recency bias. People think about that, and they leave him off. But he's had some time to recover. He's got an arm. He can run, and they're building the offense around him. But speaking of the offense, because you were right, I am. Their defense is definitely the thing that could put him over the top. But the construction of the offense, though, Odell Beckham came out yesterday, said it might be his last year. I think he's going to be playing with a purpose. Nelson Aguilar, he's a very serviceable receiver, a good 2. But the one also that stands out on the offensive side is Mark Andrews. Yeah. That tight end room, to me, tight end is one of the most important positions on offense. So I always look at that, and Mark Andrews is the real deal. So,
and Isaiah Likely, a rookie last year, gives them a good set. They go to the 12 personnel on the field. And this is one of the, I think, the fascinating things about the NFL right now is we always talk about teams looking for a quarterback, but the good quarterbacks, it's stacked right now. I know we kind of overused that term, but if how are you judging these guys? And if you're judging pure pocket passer, you're not going to put Lamar Jackson up there with Patrick Mahomes, even Joe Burrow, or Trevor Lawrence, or Justin Herbert at this point in time. But if you're looking at what they are asked to do in an offense, he's right there. So if you're just looking at quarterback, what they're asked to do, it's why I always rate the Air Force quarterbacks higher when we're talking about Mountain West quarterbacks. Like, everyone has them at the bottom of the list because they don't throw the football, but I'm like, well, that's not what they're asked to do. What are you asking these quarterbacks to do? And then in that regard, Lamar Jackson is much higher on the list.
Well, maybe you should explain to the audience and to DC our contest, JJ, of quarterbacks in the NFL and wins this season, because wins are the most important thing when it comes to the quarterback. And you're taking a stand on a certain type of quarterback. I'm taking the opposite stand on that particular type of quarterback. And yet we still come back to that.
Yeah, let's open that up real quick, because you've talked about that a lot. The unathletic. So for you, is like Patrick Mahomes a pure pocket passer? Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, are those the guys that you're talking about from winning in the pocket?
I'm not particularly talking about the Patrick Mahomes type of guys who can run around. I'm talking strictly pocket guys like Joe Burrow, like the Drew Breeses, that size, like the Baker Mayfield, guys who can't get out of the pocket because of their lack of athletic talent, versus the guys like the Lamar Jacksons, versus Justin Fields, those kind of guys. So people can get wrap their mind around this contest we have. JJ's going to pick 5. I'm going to pick 5.
I need you. You got to break down who's not athletic that I can pick, because right now, if I'm getting,
I'm going to let you decide. I'm going to let you decide who you think is a not athletic guys, and I'll pick Aaron Rodgers. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is an athletic guy? Do you think he's a pocket guy?
Passer?
Yeah. Okay. So I would pick those type of guys, and then you would pick.
So you got
Justin
like Rodgers,
Lamar Jacksons,
Goff, Kirk Cousins,
Burrow.
You can throw a Brock Purdy in there. Joe Burrow.
Purdy. Right. Those kind of guys. I pick 5. You pick 5. Who has the most wins at the end of the year? And when you speak to a Lamar Jackson, you have to talk about the offense. You can't say, hey, I want the Ravens to win, and then start talking about their defense. And here's the guys making $250 million. So, we have to look at it from that standpoint. But also, at the end of the day, it comes down to wins. And everyone wants their quarterback a certain way until they want him a certain way. You get what I'm talking about
I think
here?
that's why a lot of people have kind of soured on Lamar Jackson. Some of the injuries, haven't had the postseason success to this point. But I'm going to really want to see how the tweak, new offensive coordinator, does to this offense. If it really is a deep shot's going to be the difference. That's what they're really talking about. Stretching the field, not necessarily having Lamar Jackson drop back with 35, 40 times per game, because that's not going to maximize who he is. But if you're able to establish the run game, and this is one of those teams, they don't have a star running back. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Melvin Gordon, that's a committee approach with the legs of Lamar Jackson. Is that extended passing game, is that going to be something that helps them get over the hump offensively in the postseason? Because right now, you look at the AFC North, and all four teams, Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh, have win totals of 9+ games, and there has never been a division in NFL history where every team finishes with a winning record. And you have more of a chance to do that in a 17-game NFL season, but it is going to be a battle. And we might see those records a little bit lower than you'd expect with some of those teams, just because they're going to beat each other up in the division. But who are the teams that are starting to catch your attention? Talk about a stacked AFC. Well, who's going to be playing in that AFC championship game? That NFC championship game, the Giants hope that they took a step forward with Saquon Barkley agreeing to a 1-year deal. $11 million, man. It's easy to say. It's easy to say you're going to hold out until you look at that bank account and those direct deposits. Stop hitting. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal hotline. Also the Sports Animal text line this morning. A major question. It's not just performance. It's attitude. It's the locker room. And Russell Wilson still has people bitter in Seattle. But can he come back? Can someone that maybe got a little too diva, maybe got a little too full of himself, can a coach bring him back down to earth? Or do the players, do we have to listen to them? And do they know who Russell Wilson really is? That's next here on The Sports Animal.
You may know JPR sells all kinds of decorative gravel.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one.
Man, it was so much
green
more
stuff, one scoop.
than just bad football last year for Russell Wilson. The floodgates open. And when your teammates start speaking out, when your former teammates start speaking out, when you lose the locker room, can you come back from that? I think with Russell Wilson, this is one. And I'm usually the dude that doesn't think a lot of the off-the-field noise creeps in. But when it is something that starts to turn off your teammates, that starts to have your teammates question you, that's a different conversation. And can Russell Wilson get back to what he was before he became a superstar? It's opening drive here on The Sports Animal. JJ Buck DC, former Lobo quarterback Ned James with you. And just add another one to the list. And former Seattle linebacker KJ Wright, 9-time Pro Bowler, he went off again on his podcast, KJ All Day. He said, quote, and this came out last week, when it's all said and done, Russell, has a lot of making up to do. One of those incidents, well, he had Golden Tate on his podcast. Golden Tate was a Seattle wide receiver, one of Russell Wilson's top targets in the mid-2010s. And there was a story that came out in 2014. There were rumors of an affair between Golden Tate's wife and Russell Wilson. And people feel Russell Wilson did not do enough to downplay that Golden Tate got thrown under the bus. And that was just, the tip of the iceberg when you look at things that were coming out of Seattle as he started to lose the locker room late in his tenure there. You have the story of Marshawn Lynch saying he can't talk to Russell Wilson. He has to go through his agent. Then in Denver last year, the whole Russell gets his own office. There's so much there. And can you come back when you start to lose players, when players aren't on your side? How do you come back from that?
It's just tough. I mean, players, there's personalities, there's just personality differences. When you're winning, everybody gets along. When you're losing, then the warts start showing. This is just a case of, guys, just probably, having their feelings hurt in some way. And there is no remedy for it. And so they decide that, hey, I'm going to air the dirty laundry because, I'm feeling like I'm not being, appreciated. And so I don't really take much stock in all that. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own little quirks and, there's no, perfect person And so I haven't heard anything about Russell Wilson off the field that would warrant any kind of speculation about him being some sort of bad guy. So I don't really hold much stock in that. I do know being on professional teams, you're talking about guys from different parts of the country, different all kinds of different demographics, religion, culture, everything, and then you're forcing them to all get along. Not everybody's going to get along, and so you just have to find a way to kind of move yourself along in a positive way. I don't think Russell deserves some of these hits that he's taken from former teammates. Hey, it just didn't work between us personality wise. And then the whole, girlfriend thing with Golden Tate, if it's your wife now or if it's an ex, just move on.
This is one that, it's so much more. If there was one or two guys, I could see that, all right, people have falling out. Not everyone's going to be best friends and buddies, but it just feels like there's just so much junk off the field with Russell Wilson. Now, I will say that a lot of the Broncos in this current locker room, they're saying the right things heading up into the season. They're saying they have Russell Wilson's back. And when you're losing and you have a bad head coach like last year, yeah, it's easy to pile on, as you said. But DC, is Sean Payton the difference? Like, is Sean Payton the Pete Carroll style personality? When the Seahawks were on their run, and yes, the defense was good, but Russell Wilson wasn't a slouch. I get the Legion of Boom; those guys set the tone, but it's not like Russell Wilson was playing bad football by any means. But that type of atmosphere, what was the conversations coming out of Denver last year? Because we all kind of read the writing on the wall, Nathaniel Hackett, this or that. Do you think Russell Wilson can pop his ego and get the locker room back, get players back on his side?
I question that. He's been told many times to slow down on social media, but last week he's putting the videos of him throwing around with Deion's kid at CU. He's been told to stay away from the quarterback coach, but he's always right there with him. It just seems like he's playing by his own set of rules, and I don't see how he gets that locker room back. The guy had his own office. He wasn't even trying to be part of the team last year. So it's true, and it's hard. Like, how do you get that back? I just feel like when you push so far away from your own team, eventually people say, hey, all right, you don't want to be part of us. That's fine. Go do your own thing. Peyton, but to answer your first question, Sean Payton has to be the answer to turn that around, because I think he's the only one that can do it, and he has that authority in the locker room to get people on the same page. So if it is going to happen, it's going to be a Sean Payton thing.
And Sean Payton, he's worked with similar quarterbacks, and I think Drew Brees and Russell Wilson are a very good comparison about how they play. And to get the squeeze enough, I think it does start with where Russell Wilson is mentally. Is he locked in? Because I think last year you saw him play, and everyone was saying he needs to run a little bit more, this or that. I think you can still get a good Russell Wilson, but is good enough in that AFC, to be a difference maker? Because you got to beat Patrick Mahomes, man.
Yeah, good's probably not going to get you to the playoffs. It seems like good might get you 8 wins, but he's going to have to be the old Russell Wilson and win some games himself to get over and get back to that, that the guy that we remembered and kind of thought we were getting when they made the trade.
What do you think of Sean Payton in this role in Denver, Ned?
I think it's I think Sean Payton is really good for Denver. And what happens is the style, Russell Wilson played for one guy, and that guy drafted him, and that was Pete Carroll. And he was a defensive guy. Now he's playing for an offensive guy, Sean Payton, who did not draft him, who's an offensive, supposedly expert. And so, it's going to be a little bit different, and he's got to adjust to that, and that's why they pay him the big bucks. Teams, a similar comparison you would have to make, it would be Peyton Manning coming from a defensive head coach, and Tony Dungy coming to Denver. And who was the head coach at Denver when Peyton came over?
Oh man,
when Peyton Manning came over.
Still Fox? Or was it Kubiak?
Oh no, actually, first year
Kubiak.
was Fox, and then it went to Kubiak. That's right.
Kubiak. And so it comes over to an offensive guy. So so I don't know if that transition. That's what people need to try to understand when you're on a team. Chemistry is important and culture is important. You got a young head coach who probably wasn't as forceful and more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Is leadership, kind of older veteran type head coach that somebody that Russell could look up to. So now Russell comes into a situation where here he's got this young guy, and a guy's never been a head coach before. The guy's on the job training, and he's expected to to make miracles happen. So I think it's unfair to pinpoint and put it all on Russell from last season. It takes time to adjust when you're coming to a new team and you're trying to build chemistry and you're trying to build culture, and you've got the internet and you've got Instagram and all these other things coming at you with the social media stuff. So it just takes time for teams to gel, and it takes time and culture to build and chemistry to build. And I just think when you have a veteran presence as the head coach, it just helps to keep all the noise down and kind of rein guys in, as opposed to having someone like the last coach Hackett, who was just kind of on the job training.
For as bad as it's been for Russell Wilson, he's lucky that Nathaniel Hackett was a disaster, because he's taken a lot of heat, as he should. But this could have been one of the worst seasons we've seen from a quarterback like Russell Wilson. But Hackett was bad enough that people are like, hey, we believe he can turn it around. It's Sean Payton getting in there. But it is also, it's wild that we see these veteran quarterbacks kind of need kind of reset. And I think about Aaron Rodgers too. Like, you kind of get to a certain point where you're the big man on campus. I can do whatever I want. And even the franchise in Green Bay was like, all right, well, we're going to move on. And then it seems like Aaron Rodgers had to get refocused with the Jets. And I just think this is so fascinating, because it would be rare if we looked at Russell Wilson and he just doesn't have it anymore. He just fell off a cliff like that. It can happen, but I don't know if that is truly the case there. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal Hotline. Get that money when you can. One of the largest contract offers ever. Did the player actually say no? It's opening drive here on the Sports Animal.
Sport is sponsored by Taco Bell.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses.
For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Mitch, there's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one's hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the LaCueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of
Certainly
interest.
quite unique. You look across that field, and each one of those guys has made a commitment to go fight for our country. And along your own sideline, as you look up and down, they're dedicated, to go fight for the freedoms of our nation too. And there's a lot of mutual respect in that, in that manner.
Troy, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
When was the last time you heard a coach say, I want that problem? When we're talking about transfer portal, we're talking about name, image, and likeness. Troy Calhoun doesn't want to hear anyone complaining. He wants to bring players in. He wants to have that opportunity. But once you commit, it's after year 2. Because you can leave the Air Force Academy as a sophomore. Once you stay, you're committed there for 4 seasons. But it's fascinating and how competitive they are, how good they are. And it's not just running the triple option. Yes, that helps. But they're getting guys looks at the next level. And Ned, when you look at the Air Force Academy, every coach will tell you, every player, that's one of the hardest games to play. Because for 4 quarters, that team is not going to stop. But Troy Calhoun is much more than just a service academy guy. Yes, he played there. He runs a triple option. But that's why I was really fascinated about his time in the NFL, working with Mike Shanahan, working with Gary Kubiak, because that brings a different perspective to just the game than just being a service academy coach.
Yeah, one of the interesting things with the Air Force Academy is how valuable do you think the running backs are there? You know, you got to have running backs. And so I always found it fascinating that they never return punts. They just always fair catch every punt because they use the clock as a way of controlling the game. And on defense, you know, they play a basic standard 5 2 defense, and they kind of stay in that, and they run a couple of simple things out of it, and they know they have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of practice that they get to use, and so they just keep it basically pretty simple. I think he kind of plays this whole hey, we're undermanned and we're under staffed, whatever, because of our athletes, and we don't get the greatest. And he cries poor Sister Mary of the poor university, but they have an advantage. Those guys, I can't see any of those linemen getting into cockpits in the Air Force, and they're able to get big men in there. So
it's not always about just flying. You don't just fly planes. You got to work on the planes.
You got to work on the cargo. I get it. But the Air Force Academy, you would think that there would be guys who fly airplanes, but that's all right. I understand. You need
some of them do. Maybe the quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you need some offensive linemen, so you got to have some cargo guys. So
you got to have the technicians. You got to have the people on the aircraft carriers at the airfields. So come on now.
You're going to be a technician because you can play guard. So okay, I get it. But at the same time, to play this, I'm the victim, but that's fine. I mean, I absolutely, it was just,
I just love the fact that everyone else is crying. I'm sorry, the coaches are crying about name, image, and likeness, and Troy Calhoun's like, hey, I want that problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly, because he knows what kind of guys he's getting in, what kind of guys have to be able to withstand being in the Air Force Academy and be the rigors of the academy life. And so that's always been the case. It's been that way, from way back when. But yeah, Troy Calhoun. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job there. He's kept that. Fisher DeBerry, all the coaches before him, that whole lineage of really good coaches that have come and played in this conference. They've stayed in this conference despite being able to become an independent if they wanted to. And I think it's just a testament to the Air Force Academy and the location and how he's how the standard is the standard there, and that's just what it is. And so, I mean, it's great. It's great for football. It's great for college football.
It's huge for the Mountain West Conference because Air Force is competitive, they're consistent, and they win football games. And this conference needs programs like that. Now, there was a time when Troy Calhoun put it out there. Maybe they're not meant for the Mountain West. They are meant for the Mountain West Conference. Air Force football matters, and it's a little bit bummer. I love watching Air Force play. I think New Mexico and Air Force is a game that should always be on the schedule. Just the travel, the Mountain West rivalries that you're trying to build in the Mountain Division. They're not on the schedule for the Lobos this season. But what is on the schedule? And speaking of schedules, let's make non-conference college basketball matter. It's opening drive here on The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Store.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family.
Former NFL offensive tackle James Atkins scheduled to join us coming up at 8:30 this morning. The state of the game what he thinks about the running back position and what's like training an offensive lineman this day and age when so much about football is keeping the pocket clear for your quarterback. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck DC, our quarterback, Ned James, with you. It was announced yesterday. Big-time college basketball. Now, we see matchups in college basketball. It's always in tournaments, though. Maui Invitational, neutral site games. Lobos are playing another tournament in Las Vegas over Thanksgiving weekend, and those are fun, and those matter. But college basketball needs more true home games with the big dogs playing each other, and they got that. And what has been deemed the Battle of the Blue Bloods, Kansas and North Carolina announced yesterday a 2-game home-and-home series beginning in 2024. I absolutely love this. We know college basketball, when it comes to the national landscape, it's March. It's March Madness. College basketball in New Mexico, it's from game 1 to the end of the season. You need to find ways to chip into the sports landscape. You're never beating football. I get it. That's not the point. But it's having marquee events. And the one thing to me that is so special about college sports is home atmospheres are different. Yeah, you can get a lot of people at an NFL game, an NFL stadium, but there's nothing like a home game on campus when you have a big-time program coming in. Kansas, North Carolina, those home games, that's must-see TV for a non-conference college basketball game.
And you talk about going on campus. Yeah. Fog Allen Fieldhouse will be rocking, absolutely rocking for North Carolina.
We need to see more of that. That's what I want to see, Ned James. More true home games against big-time opponents. It's hard to do because you try to tell a coach to go play a game like that, they're like, no. Because all these guys, in college basketball, they just rely on their conference. And our conference schedule is going to be so hard. We don't have to play true road games in non-conference. I know we want to take the trips. You want to go to Hawaii. I get it. You can still have those. But I love the true road games for college basketball, the atmosphere that we'll get with something like that.
Yeah, but they only play one, maybe two if they're lucky.
It's more than we've seen.
I know, but it's just kind of disingenuous. I mean, it should be set up where they play more games against common opponents. Big Power 5 schools play big Power 5 schools early in the year before they even get to conference. But and maybe it should be set up on who's paying their players the most, and those teams play each other. So it just, I get for the basketball fan, this is a good thing because you get to see some of these blue bloods play each other early in the year, but there's just not enough of those. I mean, there should be more of them.
Got to start somewhere.
They're padding their schedule. It's almost like they're playing a preseason all the way until they get to conference, and then they may play a little exhibition where they play, like you said, another blue blood. But I guess it's good for basketball. I guess people want to see these type of teams play each other, if only once before the NCAA tournament. But it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see how they how it shakes out because these coaches are pretty much running these basketball programs because they're trying to protect their jobs. I mean, you got to win games. If you don't have that 20 win on your record, it's likely you're not going to be there for very much longer.
Yeah, and it's when you look at conference play, it matters. And I'm not trying to downplay that, but don't be scared to play non-conference games. That's going to get you in a different position. Look at what the Lobos did last season. They were hyped. People were ecstatic because of what they did in non-conference. The run they went on before conference play. Like, non-conference can't matter. There is an opportunity for teams to excel on that. We know the Lobos. We're not talking about necessarily having to bring North Carolina and Kansas in. Like, you're still going to have to take your lumps, go get a couple of those road games. You have X amount of home dates you have to fill. But seeing Kansas and North Carolina agree to play a true home-and-home series, I love that. And I want to see more of that. New Mexico, you think about some of the home-and-home series they've had over the years. Like, Cincinnati was fantastic. They were a top 25 team when they came in. Like, you can find those type of games. It ain't easy. We've all talked to coaches about scheduling and how teams don't want to come play. At some point in time, you got to get one of these guys to come play. You got to get someone to come to your building. even if it's just one, because one of those true road games definitely matters, and you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, no one's coming to elevation. No one's coming to the pit with the 6,000 feet and bringing their team in here, knowing how raucous it could be, knowing the disadvantage you have because of the altitude. It's just a tough place. I told one of the coaches there when they first showed up here at UNM, basketball coaches, I go, we always beat somebody who's ranked in the pit. I said, every year, says, don't worry about the schedule. We're going to beat somebody who we're not supposed to beat because they got to come in here and play. And it's tough to play in altitude. I don't care who you are. I mean, running in here and trying to run up and down that court, you may not think it's affecting your body, but it's affecting you. And so we always beat somebody here. And so it's tough to get an opponent. Like, it'd be great to get a Georgetown or somebody to come in here, but they're just not going to do it.
Well, yeah, Georgetown would bring down your RPI at this point in time. Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
No, is he still the coach?
But it would bring fans in. People remember Patrick Ewing. So,
yeah, that's not a great comparison right now.
Yeah,
bringing in Jordan. It's a name, but not a good resume builder at this point in time. 505-246-0610. It is the opening drive on the Sports Animal.
Southbound on Wyoming.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
10, the sports animal.
It all starts up front. We can talk about the quarterbacks, the running backs, but they got to have time. They got to have those lanes. And it comes down to the offensive line. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. It's JJ Buck, DC, our quarterback, Ned James, with you this morning. And our next guest went undrafted in 1993, but he showed why there is a reason the NFL is made up of so many players that do not have first round by their name. He is an offensive tackle that put together a 7-year NFL career. Yes, the Houston Oilers were on that list, the Seattle Seahawks, Baltimore Ravens, and Detroit Lions. He also helped coach the next generation, including one of the top offensive linemen in this year's past draft, James Atkins, the offensive tackle out of Louisiana Lafayette, and somehow an offensive tackle credited with 4 career fumble recoveries. But James Atkins joins us on the Sports Animal. James, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Great to be here.
Glad
to be on your show.
I appreciate that. So this training camps getting underway. You got a ton of players that are trying to start their NFL journey. What was it like for you? You're an undrafted free agent. You hit training camp. What is that like with that kind of pressure as you're trying to make an NFL team?
It's a lot of pressure. You get there, you don't know where to go. You're in a different city. It's just mind-boggling when you get there. It's different with an undrafted free agent than a drafted free agent. Drafted free agent, you get to go there a couple of days before, get taken around the city, get just wine and dine. But when you're an undrafted free agent, man, you coming in strictly for business. You just get there a day before and weigh in, go right to the facility, train, and go right to training camp.
Did that help you kind of give you the edge that you needed in order to show what kind of player you were to make an NFL roster and ultimately have the career you did?
Yeah, it did. It really did. It gave me an edge because I was mad when I went to the NFL. I was a D lineman out of ULL, Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, and I had a good career. If you look at my numbers over my college career, I had a great career in college. I was one of the top D linemen coming out, and I ran a slow 40 time. So that pushed me really back into free agency. So when I got to the NFL, I had an edge. I was mad. It really did help me get where I need to be at because there's a lot of talent in the NFL. And when I got there, man, I met a great coach in the Howard Mud in Seattle that really molded me then when I got to the NFL. Man, it was just great, you know, to have that edge because you're going to need that edge in the NFL. And when you get to NFL, everybody's talented. It's not like college. You're going to recruit some busts. You're going to recruit some guys that you need on the roster because you ain't going to get all the great players on one team because so many college teams. But the NFL narrows it way down. And when you get down there, man, it's just tough to, you know, it's tough to make it. And if you don't have that edge, if you don't have that focus, which a lot of guys don't have at that time, you ain't going to make it.
Hey, James, just wanted to ask a quick question about Howard Mudd. You brought him up, and we all know that he was I think he was instrumental in developing Peyton Manning because I think he had a lot to do with the offense. He was there 10 years with Peyton in Indianapolis his rookie year and some of his philosophy. But tell us a little bit about, just who were the best offensive line coaches you had, and how did they shape you, and how do you hold them? How do you see that they helped you in helping you develop offensive linemen and also coaching?
All right, and that's a good thing. But that's a good question. There, I'm glad you asked me that question. When I got to the NFL, I had came from D-line, so I didn't have no bad habits from the O-line standpoint coming out of college. Some guys go to college and don't have good O-line coaches, and then when they get to the pros, they got bad habits and hard to get it out of them because you got these many years with bad play. Now, when you get to good play, it's kind of hard to tweak. It's kind of hard to tweak your
habits,
your technique.
Yeah.
But when I got to the NFL, man, Howard Mudd. If it wasn't for Howard Mudd, a great O-line coach means a lot. If it wasn't for Howard Mudd, I really couldn't have made it in the NFL because I had to come from scratch. Just like making a biscuit. They got pre-made biscuits. Now all you do is add water and add milk, and you're ready to make that biscuit, mix it up, and put it in the oven. But when you had to go from scratch, you had to put everything together, the salt, you had to put the flour and everything together, man, you need the right kind of O-line coach. I had him and Kirk Ferentz, that's at Iowa, the head coach at Iowa Hawkeyes, with my next O-line coach in Baltimore. He was a really good O-line coach, too, and he saw me play on when I was playing against him, against the Baltimore Ravens, and we played against them before I came to Baltimore in Seattle, and he saw how he just liked what I did. But Howard Mudd, man, he's just a great technician, and the guy that taught me everything about the game, and I was learning the game through him and didn't know I was learning the game. I had to really focus on how to, in my stance, the mesh point between the lineman and the D lineman, stay inside out from the quarterback, put your head on the right side. You got to take the right step or you're going to lose. I don't care what you do after that. If you take the wrong drop step or you take the wrong kick step, you done lost already before you even get engaged contact. Howard Mudd was just a great O-line coach. Kirk Ferentz, when I got to Kirk said, James, just do what you do. I gained a little bit more weight when I got to Baltimore because they wanted you a little bit heavier. When I was in Seattle, I had Daniel LeDuc as a strength coach, and he came out of the University of Miami before he came to the NFL. Then when he got to the NFL with Dennis Erickson, he wanted me to be more, leaner, like 300 pounds, 305, no more than 310. When I got to Baltimore, they wanted me to be 330, 325. So they want you a little bit more heavier, a little bit more thicker. So when I got there, Kirk wanted you to just lean on people and to just run the football with great running backs over there and just run the ball down your throat. We didn't have a great passing game at that time when I got to Baltimore, and then we just went straight ahead. But with having them O-line coaches, what I learned from both of them, when I got out the NFL and started teaching kids in high school how to play O-line, it just was instilled in me. I can't forget it. I know the way you're supposed to block a guy. I know the way you're supposed to push on a guy. And I told the guys this one time in high school. They used to worry about the receivers and the quarterbacks, how pretty they look. They go out early, coach. They get to interact with the fans when we come out the game about to start. And I used to tell the guys this all the time. I say, it's the reason why we come out when the game about to start. Because football don't start until the linemen come out. So that means you go to a game 4 hours before a game, all you see is the receivers and quarterbacks throw the ball around. The linemen going to sit in the locker room, might snack on a Snicker, might talk to the trainers. They might walk on the edge of the field and sit on the bench and look around. But when it's time for the linemen to come out the game, come on the field with their uniforms on and helmets, it's about time for the game to start. You about 40 minutes, 30 minutes before the game starts. And that's what football is about. It's about in trenches play. And that's what I always take from what I learned from the NFL and what Red O-line play taught me about the football game, that it starts when the linemen come out.
James Atkins joining us on The Sports Animal, former NFL offensive lineman. He got to eat some of those biscuits once he got to Baltimore. You talked about your transition from a defensive tackle to offensive lineman. Obviously, man, you had to have the talent to do that. But when you look at your two seasons, 95-96, you started 32 games for the Seattle Seahawks. You had some good practices, battles in practice. You had Sam Adams, Cortez Kennedy to go against. But also those seasons, man, you lined up against Neil Smith in Kansas City, Bruce Smith in Buffalo. Who are some of the guys, when you think back, that just off the snap that you still think about trying to block those guys?
Oh, man, Bruce Smith come to mind. I'm glad you brought him up. Bruce Smith was a guy that I say, man, he was worthy of the first overall pick in the draft when he came out. And I said, man, this guy, from his elbow to his hand, was so strong. I don't see how I break that down like that and miss the biceps. But he was so strong in his forearms that I was like, this guy is real talented. It's just awkward when you hit him. He could throw you side to side. You really had to brace yourself. This guy was a unique guy for being so big type of guy. I played against a lot of guys in the NFL that was fast and quick, but he was so unique for being so big. He had the speed, he had the limberness, he had the thickness, he had the biggest hand. He could throw you side to side. He had the smartness. He had it all. And so Bruce Smith was one of the guys that stand out in my mind. Another guy was Leslie O'Neal. He was more like a technician. You had to have your hands in the right spot on him, or else he'll beat you right off the bat. And I learned that going into the game. I saw it on film. Howard Mudd taught me one great thing about Howard Mudd taught me. He taught me, James, you got to study the film and show me how to study film on this guy, because this guy's real slippery. Then the guy just claimed, I said, a slippery guy, because I didn't know nothing about O-line play at the time. I said, what you mean slippery? What you mean? James, he can get off you real quick. You got to really study the film where you're going to get your hands. And get your hands on him, don't take them off. Don't just punch him and play patty cake. You got to keep your hands, stick on that grab claw, and just ride him around the quarterback. So Leslie O'Neal was a really technician guy that get off you real quick. Derek Thomas come to mind out of Kansas City. That guy, one of the fastest guys I ever played against in the NFL. One of the fastest guys. One time he went around me so fast, I said, Derek, do that again for a minute, right quick, between plays. Because I said, man, that was so fast, man. I couldn't even see you, man. But he was really one of the fastest guys I've really seen out of Alabama. He came out there and showed us why he was a top pick in the NFL draft. I say, man, these guys are so quick. But what really helped me is I had really quick feet. And I had to really learn that on the fly, because I really didn't know that going in the NFL. I just know I could keep up with the guys and keep them off the quarterback. And I say, Coach, I don't know how I'm working at O-line play. He said, you're doing a hell of a job, James. I say, Coach, I just don't know how I'm doing. He said, James, you got the quickest feet I ever seen. Now, you can ask Ray Roberts out of Virginia. He was a first-round pick for the Seahawks out of Virginia. He said, James, ask him how quick your feet is. And one day he got in the meeting room and said, James, your feet is so quick. And Ray Roberts said, James, you ain't lying. Your feet is quick. And that's what it takes to have a great pass-blocking O-lineman. It's very quick feet and very good intelligence and hands. And so them type of guys like Bruce Smith, Leslie O'Neal, and Derek Thomas, man, them guys, you got to be on your P's and Q's to block those guys. And them some of the guys that come to mind that were very, very just technique sound at their position.
James Atkins joining us here on the Sports Animal. James, we'll let you out of here on this one. When you're watching the NFL today, when you're teaching guys, high school coach, but guys that go on to the next level, what do you see out of offensive line play in today's NFL?
It's slacking off a little bit, and that's my concerning thing about the NFL. It come with and I know what they're trying to do, take some of the physicality after the game with concussions and all that. But the problem is right now, you ain't going to get no good technique play. And the only way you get good technique play is you go and pass and shoulder pass, full gear, and do it every day. Now, they can't hit for probably 1 to 2 days a week in pass. So we took that out of the game. And then we also want a good product on the field on Sunday, which you're not going to see right now during this time, because you can't do both. I mean, you can't practice your craft fully and then stay from concussion. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be physical and tough and all that and then say, oh, well, we ain't going to have no concussion. Well, if you put up with a little bit of concussions and you could deal with it a little bit in a different way and find out how to deal with it, well, you're going to have better O-line play and D-line play. But when you don't have that, like right now, they when they get to during the season, they don't hit but once a week, and they don't touch nobody. God, if you don't drive a car but once a week or once a year, you don't know how it's going to react. If you don't do something, if you don't do a radio show but once a week, you're not going to be as good if you do it every day or every 3 days or every 4 days. So that's what I'm concerned about in the NFL. Now, the O-line play right now, it's kind of like, it bothers me because it's not as clean. It's not as crisp. You don't do it a lot. You can't be physical. You can't get after people every day. We went twice a day full pads. Even though sometime when we got during the season, we'll go shorts and shoulder pads on Friday, it was just like being in full gear. So when you got 2 days later, our game was, we traveled on Friday after practice. We got there on Saturday. You had another game Sunday, so our technique is down. So the game was better. The game was better played. The game more physical. We stayed away from more injuries. We got more injuries when we went to shorts and shoulder pads than we did in full gear. But I understand they come out with the concussions with kids, concussions on the field, and the insurance don't want to pay to cover us on the field, so they had to back that down. But you're not gonna get a good O-line play in the NFL. For the tickets you paying, for the money you paying for tickets, and just thousands of dollars. You go get a hot dog is $10. You go get a beer is $20. You get all that at a game. When you come, you want to see good play, but you're not gonna get both. So you're not gonna get that. So you got to be able to adjust. We got to be able to adjust right now. And with the up and coming generation, as the longer we go with like this, we're gonna adjust the way how they see the game, and they think it's a better game and it's a passing game. But it's not gonna be as great as we had in the past because we didn't do it every day, every week, all day to build our craft to be good at it.
James, appreciate the insight, appreciate the knowledge. Thank you so much for joining us in the Sports Animal. James Atkins, for NFL offensive lineman. A lot to break down. He had some very interesting comments. We'll talk about that next here on the Sports Animal.
Is sponsored by Audible. Boost your imagination with Audible.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Sports and sports-adjacent content with the boys.
Well, I think that's, without saying the word soft, I think James Atkins just called football soft. Former NFL offensive lineman joining us in the opening drive. Appreciate the insight. It's fascinating going from defensive tackle to left tackle in the NFL. He started 16 straight games over 2 years in Seattle, had a 7-year NFL career. Pointing out just some of the differences. Hey, the game changes a little bit, and you got to worry about the head. That is a very important thing. Got some breaking news for you here on The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, DC, former Lobo quarterback Ned James with you. Bronny James, freshman at USC. He's going to be playing his first collegiate basketball season. Yesterday, while at practice, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest incident. The medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He's in stable condition. He was in the ICU. Statement from the James family. Of course, they asked for respect and privacy at this time, but LeBron and Savannah, his parents, wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work, dedication, and safety of their athletes. And wow, that's just wow. And these incidents that we've seen in sports, and it's, you never know. And you think you can be in good shape, and boom, just like that. Damar Hamlin, Bronny James, and that's why it's important to have people around you. And I recall, what we did over the summer with Project Heart Start out at University Stadium. Just knowing what to do in those situations could help save someone's lives. But that, you read that story, and that's absolutely shocking. Freshman to be in college, Bronny James, and suffers that incident, and that oh man,
18 years old. He's got all the money in the world, and still happens. So it can happen to anything, anyone, anytime. It's really sad and very scary. Yeah. I do prayers out to the Jameses, man. That's wild.
Yeah, Bronny is, he's trying to carve his own path. This is a tough world when your dad is one of the greatest of all time, and he's still playing basketball, and he has said he wants to play with you in the NBA. And Bronny James is very talented, and so hopefully he's able to get the help he needs with the, his heart condition, whatever it may be, but we can get him back on the basketball court so he can do what he loves, and we can see a fantastic player. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal Hotline, also the Sports Animal text line. Nuke got his money, but will he get his catches? Ned James' second favorite team outside the Lobos. The Tennessee Titans paid up for a wide receiver number 1. Will it pay off for them? It's the opening drive here on the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
I'm New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Win the division and you're in. Easiest way to get to the postseason. Yeah, easy. Trying to win an NFL division. But for the Tennessee Titans, the last couple of years, it has been. Houston, Indianapolis, struggling. The disaster that was Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. It's been their division. Not the case anymore. We saw Jacksonville take a step forward last year. Doug Peterson, a real live NFL coach. Amazing what he can do with that talent on the Jaguars roster. Now Tennessee trying to find a way to claw back into the postseason. A veteran team. When you think about teams across the NFL, the Titans come to mind as that window is about to shut. Now, yeah, they got Will Levis in the second round, but Malik Willis, kind of their dart throw 2 years ago. But good old Ryan Tannehill, still taking the snaps, still handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. But can the 31-year-old DeAndre Hopkins provide enough juice for the Tennessee Titans to make a move in the AFC South? Its opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck DC, our quarterback, Ned James. Now, Nuke got his money, but can he get his catches in Tennessee? They were desperate. And that's why it came down, when you're looking at it, New England and Tennessee were the teams that made the most sense for DeAndre Hopkins. Could he fit anywhere? Yeah. And we thought, could he be the Gary Payton, Karl Malone, just sign with the Lakers at the end to be chasing that ring, catching passes from Patrick Mahomes? That was a possibility. Or slide in the Buffalo with Josh Allen. Yeah. But he still wants to get a nice paycheck. He got that from Tennessee. But the Titans desperately need a guy on the outside. Last year, they ranked 29th out of 32 teams in passing yards. The Titans wide receiver group last year, 1,595 yards. So that was 30th in NFL from passes, yardage from their receivers. You put that in perspective, Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill by themselves had more receiving yards than all the wide receivers on the Titans combined. They got a new offensive coordinator in town. And Nuke Hopkins, can he be a difference maker? We're looking at teams in the AFC with an opportunity. Well, it's coming down. If Tennessee, they've shown they can be really competitive. Is Nuke Hopkins still have enough juice left in that wide receiver tank, Ned James, for Tennessee to get back that division from Jacksonville? You're still muted, my guy.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it's not really going to matter. They're going to run the ball. That's what they define themselves as a run first and play defense team. So can he provide the big play? That's what they're looking for with him. Is he going to be able to make some of those big catches that he's made in the past? And that's why they signed him. You're going to need a guy to make a big play on occasion. They didn't have that last season. We're going to see. We're going to see. He's in a new system. He's got to learn the system. Is he going to be more of a team? Veteran guys tend to be a little bit more. As veterans, they kind of are more mature, and they're able to kind of rally the team and bring the team together. We'll see if he can be that guy, because that's what they're going to need. More importantly, is as a veteran, he's going to have to be a guy who's going to have to show some leadership skills, and so it'll be interesting to see. I don't see him as necessarily a game changer at this point in his career, but at the same time, he can add some veteran presence and really help this team mature. And hopefully, be able to challenge the Jaguars, who look like they're way out front and they're chasing, and people are chasing them. So we'll see what happens with DeAndre Hopkins. I don't necessarily see him in that light, but we'll see.
Yeah, anything is better for the Tennessee Titans after what they struggled with last year with the wide receiver position, but it's also the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill was hurt. Malik Willis did not show a lot of flash. I know it's tough for a rookie, but they go Will Levis in the second round, and now that's a giant question mark, is what are they going to do at quarterback? Are they willing to wait and see with another second, third round investment, and this time a second round pick in Will Levis? And it kind of feels like, this is Ryan Tannehill's last ride in Tennessee this year.
Yeah, they're paying him a lot of money. He's got to get him in the playoffs. He's got to win a playoff game. That disappointment of losing when they were the number one seed a couple of years back with him at the quarterback position, I think that's still resonating in the community in Nashville. So he's going to have to show something, and Will Levis is going to get, an opportunity. He hasn't shown it early that he's capable of being that guy, because usually, you'll flash if you'll hear about a guy if he's drafted that high and he shows the potential. And Will was, kind of projected to be a first-round draft pick and dropped to the second round. But if he was that first-round talent, he would have flashed by now, and we haven't heard that. So it'll be interesting to see once the season starts where the Tennessee Titans go. In the game, it's got to be physical. I know we talked to James Atkins a little bit about, the lack of physicality in the offensive line play, but even at the skill positions. I mean, Hopkins is a big guy. Big guys, are the physical type of receiver. So we're going to have to see some of that from this Titans group if they are to, kind of advance this season and kind of make a push in the playoffs.
And you look at that division, AFC South, CJ Stroud, Houston, Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis. I expect both those guys to be starting from week one. Maybe Indianapolis, that could be interesting. They have, why am I blanking? Gene Short guy. Quarterback Gardner Minshew there, who's he could get you a couple games early in the season. He's a perfect backup quarterback, but Jim Irsay is really antsy to finally get a young quarterback out there on the field. So you have Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor. That's a pretty fun combination. That run game's gonna be fun to watch. Or CJ Stroud, I thought he was my QB1 in this past draft. I like what he's doing. I like his overall skill set. And then Bryce Young in Carolina. Which rookie do you think has the best season?
The rookies. Who knows? Flip a coin. Rookie quarterbacks, it's tough in this business. It's tough in the NFL. I would kind of maybe lean towards Bryce Young, only because his coach is more of a veteran coach. You got a rookie coach in Houston with CJ Stroud, so that's going to be tough. A defensive-minded guy. Going to probably keep it a little closer to the vest. But I think having Frank Reich, I think that'll help Bryce Young down in Carolina. So I mean, he may have a little bit of an advantage, but they're still rookies, and rookies, just it's a tough business for rookies. And so we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm curious to see if these guys can actually play that many games. It's hard for a guy to get through an entire season. Those college guys, about week 10, man, they're looking down that interstate wondering, when is this going to end? And they're just halfway through the season because, in college they would be, going home for Thanksgiving and, worried about who they're going to play in the bowl game. And you're just halfway done in the NFL. So it's quite an adjustment for NFL for rookies. So we'll see what happens this season.
Yeah, I think Anthony Richardson, with his running ability, can definitely put up some numbers. I'm really excited to watch what kind of he and Jonathan Taylor do in that offense. That's the future of the position. You look at the AFC South, Trevor Lawrence, got Doug Peterson in there last year. By the way, they get Calvin Ridley back on that Jaguars offense. That was one of those under the radar acquisitions last year. Like, oh, he's still suspended. Oh, let's bring him in over from Atlanta. He's going to be their Christian Kirk. And now Ryan Tannehill hoping, they said, have some physicality, some big plays from DeAndre Hopkins on the outside. I think the AFC South will have fun football to watch because I'm intrigued about the rookie quarterbacks. They're going to take their lumps. And we've seen the last we know that there's not a path, like a specific formula. Last year, the only first-round quarterback was Kenny Pickett. And it's like week 8, week 9, he made his first start. So either you go week 1 or we'll see one of these guys pick up in week 7 or 8 in the NFL season. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal Hotline. Also the Sports Animal text line this morning. And you still got a chance. Do you want a chance to win a foursome of golf at Sandia on Friday? The opening drive is celebrating 15 years on air. What an unbelievable thing Jeff Simbieta has done, leading this show, captaining this ship. By the way, he's back tomorrow. But on Friday, we're throwing an all-out celebration. Big-time show in the morning, doing a live show from Hooters, the afternoon guys, Friday afternoon, Hooters on San Mateo. But we're also giving away some golf and a foursome of golf. You and your friends can go play at Sandia on us because you are the reason we have been here for 15 years. We're going to announce the winners on Wednesday. All you got to do is call DC and give him your name, 505-246-0610, if you'd like a chance to win a free round of golf at Sandia for you and your friends on Friday, 505-246-0610. What will you do for love? Or the better question, when do you know that love is right? That is next here on The Sports Animal.
Win tickets to All-American Rejects.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides...
To take you to decide on love. Some people say it's at first sight. Others take some time. The Green Bay Packers, they've been waiting for a while to decide on if love is right for them. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, DC. Our quarterback, Ned James. Packers president Mark Murphy said yesterday, quote, "I'm comparing it a little bit to Aaron's first year as a starter. Yeah, I'd say at least half a season to know." When talking about their brand new starting quarterback, Jordan Love, the Utah State product that took his time, former first-round pick. Now he's the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And you look at week 1 of the NFL season, Jordan Love, the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Who under more pressure there? That is Justin Fields, a home game, all the hype, new offensive weapons for Justin Fields. And DC, you brought it up. You're like, all right, let's look at that schedule. Because Mark Murphy can say at least half a season to know. Because you look at 2008, Aaron Rodgers, his first year as a starter, halfway through the season, the team that saw enough at that point in time to give him a contract extension. Rodgers, over 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns that season, to have a winning record right out of the gate, taking over. Now, they reworked Jordan Love's contract to avoid the end of his rookie deal. But for the Green Bay Packers, they're on the road their first 2 weeks. At Chicago, at Atlanta, then they host New Orleans, Detroit, at Las Vegas before a Week 6 bye. So what do you think, DC, when you look at that first half of the schedule?
Well, it's very interesting because I can see it going so many different ways. That Packers Bears opening game on the road, that's going to be really, really interesting. And I think when I look at that, I could see a situation where first 4 games, do they start 0-4, 1-3? It is a tough road in the first 4, and it really doesn't get much easier. So I find it interesting because Justin Fields, he's definitely on my radar. I think the Bears are going to come out looking like a different team, and I don't think the Falcons are a pushover either. So I just see that first 2 games, it's an interesting way to start for the Packers, and it could go either way very, very easily. And as I look at this, I see why he says he needs an 8-game trial of sorts, because it's a pretty tough 8-game schedule, and they should actually know in that amount of time.
Well, within the first 8 weeks of the season, he gets to see Chicago, Detroit, and Minnesota, your division opponents. He'll have those first matchups with those players. And Ed, we were just talking about rookie quarterbacks, and we know the challenge that rookies are going to have coming in right away. What about a guy that's sat a little bit in Jordan Love? He's been there. He's practiced. He's been in the locker room. It's not a new system. It's a system that he's been working with the last few years. So what are your expectations for Jordan Love as a first-time starter, but knowing he's had that much time in the NFL?
He's got to get to the playoffs. It's just that simple. And when the GM tells you that it's 8 games, it doesn't. I mean, the schedule doesn't mean anything because any team could be any team in the NFL on any given Sunday. So it's not like you can really kind of prognosticate. I don't believe you can. But what I do think is that if the GM says it's 8 games, it's probably 4 games that they're going to look at. So it's probably half of that. They're going to know after the first 4 weeks, hey, this is our guy or this ain't our guy. And so they pretty much probably kind of have an idea already. They want to get some games under his belt. And I don't, looking at the schedule, I don't necessarily believe that that's any indicator, based on where they're playing or how, who they're playing.
Well, the first 4 weeks, you're saying it's first 4 weeks. You got 2 division opponents in there, man. That's where your bread is buttered.
Yeah, and they're going to make a decision. They're going to say, "Hey, man, shoot, we got to start making contingency plans here." After the first month, if this guy ain't the guy, if they think that, hey, there needs to be something, maybe we need to stick another guy in there and see what he can do. Because if it goes bad, but if it goes good, then they'll say, "Hey, we always knew it was going to be this good." Then Murphy comes out smelling like a rose, and then when they get to the halfway point of the season, it's really too early to tell if they're going to be a playoff team or not. So if a guy's doing good up until the 8 weeks, so it's still going to be contingent on whether they can make a run for the division or get into the playoffs as a wild card team, whether they want to stick with him or not.
We know it's been Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, but when you take a step back and look at that time frame, it's been insane because Jordan Love will be the first Packers quarterback not named Rodgers or Favre to start a Week 1 game since 1992. That's an insane amount of stability in a franchise to get those 2 quarterbacks, and to think Lightning is going to strike for the 3rd time. Well, it's kind of why you reach out and take a guy in the first round. But I think when we look at the rookies, the new quarterbacks, the new places, whether Derek Carr, the veteran going to New Orleans, Jordan Love in Green Bay, I think that's fair expectation to say this should be a wild card team. If you don't want to outright pick them to win the division, but former first round pick, he's had the time to study. Let's go.
He's been there. What? Yeah. This is his 3rd year, or is this going to be his 4th year?
Is it? Because it was 3rd year, right?
This is going to be his 3rd. He's going in his 4th. So I mean, you gotta put up. I mean, he's a veteran quarterback now. It's not like he's a rookie or a 2nd-year guy. He's got to put up, and so there's going to be some grandiose expectations from him. But he should be able to win. He should be able to win games. He should be able to win no matter on the road or at home. Their expectations, just like they are with any veteran quarterback, are to win games with this quarterback. And so they made the decision with Aaron Rodgers to move on, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't see Jordan Love. I see the talent. There's something missing with him. I can't quite put my finger on it with him, but I see that he's got the talent. But there's just something that's not quite there yet. That I can't put my finger on it. I don't even know if it's even experience.
Playing.
It's just chemistry. There's something. Give me.
Well,
let me talk to you about halfway through the season. I'll be able to know it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see that dynamic because he's still a young quarterback in the league. He's not a rookie, but it's not Aaron Rodgers working with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. So I'm really interested to see that kind of relationship where he embraces that offense. Because Aaron Rodgers, we know these veteran guys, there's a reason LeBron James wanted to trade away all the rookies on every team he was on. And he wanted Ray Allen and Shane Battier and all these veterans around him. There's a different comfort level. And so that's what I'm intrigued to see, the Jordan Love buy-in with his wide receivers and guys going into their 2nd season, Doubs and then Watson. But being able to have some of that veteran presence that he does in an Aaron Jones behind him at running back, and also the fact that it's been the same offensive system for him for years. I think it is absolutely fair to have wild card expectations on the Packers.
Yeah, when I think of him, I think of a kid that I coached in high school that's a backup quarterback in the NFL now, and C.J. Beathard. And one of the things I tell C.J. when I talk to him is he gets tired of hearing this all the time, and I always tell him, make sure you have the 2-minute drill down. Make sure you understand and know how you guys want to manage the game on speed. You have to have that 2-minute down before the end of the half, at the end of the game, managing it from ahead, managing it from behind, clock management, understanding the clock. I guess I'm missing that with Jordan Love. I got to see him manage that part of the game, because that's where Aaron Rodgers did his work. That's where Favre did they did their work from the line of scrimmage. They did their work improvising. Can he handle that? Can he handle finishing the game off at the end of the half, finishing the game off at the end of the game? Those are the things I'm looking for with Jordan Love. That's what I look at with most quarterbacks, how they finish.
And that's where we get the opportunity to finally see it now for Jordan Love this season, taking over as starter of the Green Bay Packers. And we talk about that division. And yesterday, we had the news during the show that their cornerback C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the Detroit Lions went down with a knee injury, and he was their top free agent signing to start fixing that defense in Detroit. Well, the report was no structural damage in that right knee for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who they hope will be their number one cornerback, and that's going to be big for the Lions' hype train to continue as they got to play some defense in Detroit. 505-246-0610, Sports Animal Hotline, also the text line this morning. Coming up on the other side, we're going to talk with the voice of the Isotopes, Josh Shushan. MLB trade deadline is August 1st. What would he do if he had to make the decision to trade Shohei Ohtani? Could you pull the trigger on trading the best player maybe of the last 100 years in baseball, even though you know he's going to be a free agent after the season? And it's also the start of a 12-game homestand for the Topes tonight. Josh joins us next here on the Sports Animal.
Help pitch in and bring some relief.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Schedule, but what is coming up next? The opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. The Albuquerque Isotopes been playing some great baseball in the second half of the season. I love the split. The fact that you have a first half winner and a second half winner in minor league baseball with the roster turnover, just getting kind of the re-engagement. We already know the Isotopes Park is going to be popping. Look at the 12-game homestand that's upcoming. We got green chili cheeseburger night, jersey giveaways, Marvel Defender of the Diamond upcoming. But then you add in some good baseball, and boy, the smile on the face of Josh Sushan, man, it's from ear to ear. The voice of the Isotopes joins us now on the Sports Animal. What's up, Josh?
Good morning, JJ. It's good to speak with you again.
It's good to talk to you, man. How are you feeling about this team playing good? You got a 12-game homestand, which is unbelievable, and some amazing nights on deck.
You know, I'm with you. I really like this split season format, and not just because it's benefiting the Isotopes. I like it because I think it does make sense with the roster turnover. I think that anytime that players have something to play for, when there's something on the line, it's very good for player development, and I think it basically gives them two pennant races. It gives them a second sense of opening day. And so I think it's really good. I would never want to see it at the major leagues, but I'm really glad that we have it at the minor leagues, and it has been fun to watch the way these guys have played. It's mostly a similar lineup, but it's a different pitching staff, in particular, a different bullpen. And then we're going to get some new players. Brendan Rodgers is scheduled to start a rehab assignment at some point, maybe even as early as today. We're supposed to get Tyler Kinley at some point, maybe today or tomorrow. Some of the prospects that the Rockies received already in two different trades, if you include the Mike Moustakas deal. We'll see what else they might do. We've got some guys from AA that are really good that have joined the bullpen. So, it's been fun. And then the other thing that makes it fun is it's not just that they're playing well. I love the style of baseball they're playing. It feels like the 80s. It's a ton of stolen bases, just aggressive base running, making things happen to create runs. They don't have as many home run hitters as they had earlier in the season or in previous years. And so they're manufacturing runs, which is super exciting to watch.
Is that something that it could actually benefit the Topes at times, or maybe even the Rockies? Like, you get so dead set on hitting home runs. I mean, I know baseball, we've talked about the three true outcomes the last few years, but just getting contact hitters, getting players on base, something that could help this organization right now.
Yeah, I think so, because, look, you have to hit home runs in order to win in modern baseball, but you can't rely on only home runs and sit back, and especially when you go from high altitude to low altitude, whether it's in Denver or Albuquerque. Like, we just went to Sugar Land. That sea level, it's super humid. It's hard to hit home runs, deep dimensions there. And they were able to win a couple of games and could have won 3 or 4, and it was based on stealing bases and hitting runs and aggressive base running like that. And I think that especially when you set the tone early in the game with aggressive base running, I think you just get the other team on the defensive, and then I think that helps you hit for power later in games. It's maybe you see more fastballs. Maybe the pitcher's attention is distracted. I think the way that baseball is going, getting younger with the new rules, making it easier to steal bases, I think athleticism in general is going to be the future of baseball. It's not just, You know, you can't have these elaborate shifts anymore where you can put some guy who can't play second base at second base. You got to have range now. You need to have athletes. And I think that it's exciting to watch these athletes right now.
Josh Ushon, Voices of Isotopes, joining us here on The Sports Animal.
Yeah, Josh, I guess I got to give you a new nickname. I'm going to call you Hollywood Josh Ushon, because here watching the Dodgers, I'm seeing your highlights of when you work with the Dodgers. I know it's the rival now because you're working with the Colorado Rockies affiliation, but it was just great seeing you on television here, watching with my friends and family, and to say, hey, I know that guy. I worked with that guy before. It's great. But talking about the Isotopes, which player on the Isotopes has really stood out to you this season, and which one's been the most fun for you to really talk about and to watch?
Man, there's so many, and most of the ones that immediately come to mind are now in the big leagues. In terms of the ones to watch right now, I mean, I think all the fans by now know about Winton Bernard. They know about Coco Montes. So those are a couple of guys that you want to continue to watch. A fairly new player to us is a catcher by the name of Willie McIver. I really like the way that he calls a game. He's got some pop in his bat. Him and Brian Servant are basically alternating catching duties. I think that he's a fun guy to watch. And then in the bullpen, let me give you two names. One is a guy by the name of Michael Peterson. He's 29 years old, and he hadn't pitched in 3 years because of COVID and Tommy John surgery. And he's throwing 100 miles an hour. You know, he's 97 to 99 with a filthy slider. And he struck out Nolan Arenado during the World Baseball Classic on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. His mom's from Nigeria. He was born in the UK. He grew up in the Bay Area. He's got, like, this really interesting background. Again, he's 29 years old. No one had ever heard of him for a while because he'd been out for so long. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. And then you've got this lefty. His name is Evan Justice. He's throwing 97 with a wicked slider. He's a guy who missed all of last season as well. He just got drafted 2 years ago. And so between these two guys, a lefty and a righty, I love it when these guys pitch. I don't know how much longer they're going to be in Albuquerque because if you can throw enough strikes and you throw that hard and you've got a secondary pitch, you're not going to be in the minor leagues for very long. And these are two of the new guys that just arrived within the last couple of weeks.
Josh Ushon with us here on The Sports Animal. All right, Josh, your phone rings. And it's Artie Moreno, owner of the Angels. And he's like, Josh, Shohei Ohtani. He's a free agent after this season, but he's the best player this game has seen in maybe 100 years. What are you doing with Shohei Ohtani at the trade deadline?
I am not trading Shohei. Not only am I not trading Shohei Ohtani, I'm trying to get to the playoffs this year. I want to maximize every day that Shohei Ohtani is wearing an Angels uniform. They're not that far out of a wild card right now. Mike Trout's going to come back at some point this year. I get reinforcements. I'm not even thinking about next year about whether or not we can sign him or not. But I do know that if you have any chance of re-signing him next year, you have to show a commitment to winning. You have to do what you have not done since you have employed him, and that is win. I feel like we've gotten to this point where, you know, you look at baseball and, like, what was overvalued and what was undervalued. And there for a while, what was undervalued was going to the Latin American countries and setting up an academy in the Dominican Republic and signing those players and bringing them to the United States. And then what was undervalued? Because everybody started to do that. And then it was like basic sabermetrics, like on-base percentage. And then it got into more like advanced sabermetrics. Nowadays, I feel like it's almost like winning now is underrated. That it's almost too much of an emphasis on, oh, we have to plan for the future. Like, yeah, you can't completely mortgage the future, but how about trying to win right now? You're super close. You're close to the playoffs. One good weekend, you're in the playoffs. I go after the best players that I can get. I try to get another starter. I try to get another bullpen. I try to get a third baseman since I don't know when Rendon's going to be back. I go all in about trying to make the playoffs this year.
And especially with all the conversation that, you know, he's an owner in LA that doesn't want to rebuild, and if he's going to trade Shohei, he wants some all-stars back. Well, keep the dude. I could not pick up the phone and say yes to a trade of Shohei Ohtani. Even if I knew he was walking away from my team at the end of the season, like, I'd want every last day of that guy in the lineup pitching for me. Talking about a dude that's hit 36 home runs, and so not only could he be a top 5 hitter in the game, he could be a top 5 pitcher in the game.
Yeah.
I do not know how. There's no way. Even if I knew for sure he was leaving that, I could say yes to trading that dude.
Yeah, you know, again, Artie Moreno, he was going to sell the team, and then he changed his mind. So what's the point of holding on to a team if you don't want to try and win right now? If he was trying to sell the team and you're trying to liquidate and get payroll down, then I can maybe understand all of those things. But if you flirted with the idea of selling and now you've decided to stay in it, then then win. And even if you don't make it, think about all of the jerseys you're still going to sell between now and the end of the season, all the tickets that you're going to sell between now and the end of the season, with all of the concern about regional sports networks and where the game is going to be shown. I want as many people watching Shohei Ohtani as possible on my networks and on my radio stations as long as possible. And then you figure out next year, like, again, let's try to win. Let's try to win every single possible way that we can try to win.
Amen. Amen, Shushan. That's what I'm talking about. Just win, baby.
Get those W's on the board. Josh Shushan with us. A couple more minutes here on the Sports. And when you look at Major League Baseball this season, there's some great stories. I'm looking down. We got division leaders right now. It's Baltimore, Minnesota, Texas, the common names, and then National League. But kind of what we're seeing in the American League right now is really fun for baseball.
Yeah, and to go back to my rant about let's try to win, how many people really predicted the Reds or the Rangers or the Orioles to be in first place of their divisions? Let's try to win. It's awesome that they're doing it. They're doing it with young players. Yeah, both those teams, they struggled for a while. They build up their farm system. Now they've got a chance to win. The Rangers, a combination of farm system and going out and getting spending a lot of money on free agents. I feel like because the Mets and the Padres spent so much money and they have collapsed this year, it's kind of taken away this emphasis. Well, maybe we should not go out and spend money. Look what the Rangers did. They went out and spent money. The Orioles and the Reds, they invested in their farm system. They invested in Latin America. Now it's coming to fruition. And you see what happens when you just get one player like Ellie De La Cruz and how that just inspires the rest of the team, how it just creates energy with the rest of the team. That can happen at the trading deadline as well. I think it's great for baseball when these teams that you didn't expect are winning, because now it creates hope in all of the other markets that we can turn things around, whether it's the Rockies or whether it's, pick any other team, maybe in the American League Central, because it's maybe the easiest division to win anyways. You have hope that your team, if you just get this player and get a couple of prospects and the things come together and make the right deal, that you can turn it around and you can be there next year. So it's great for baseball.
I like how you're still trying to sell me on hope for the Rockies, Josh. I appreciate it. I always need that little infusion of hope for the Colorado Rockies. But you guys got a 12-game homestand on deck. Little red versus green thing going on, too. I saw, this is going to be an amazing 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. We've got Sacramento coming in town first. That's the Giants affiliate. Then we got Las Vegas. That's the A's affiliate. Yeah, we'll have a little green versus red. You got to play to your strengths and what your market likes. We've got the green chili cheeseburgers. We're going to have a lunchbox giveaway that's on Sunday. We've got the Marvel night, and so it should be really fun. It should be some really good baseball. There's some good giveaways, and I hope people can enjoy the summer and come out to the ballpark. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a reprieve from the heat this week, a little, and then maybe a little bit more as the week goes along. So it should be really fun this next 2 weeks at home.
It's hot. So what do? Go get yourself a drink at the ballpark, sit back, enjoy baseball, and feel good about yourself. Always enjoy the time, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Josh Shushan there, and he's right. I cannot trade Shohei Ohtani. Go win some baseball games. Get every last inning you can out of the best baseball player you will ever see in your lifetime. It's opening drive here on The Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With you're covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
Just win, baby. Best in winners. Whether it's Shohei Ohtani. Do you pay running backs? Do you not pay running backs? Offensive linemen. We've been all over the board this morning here on the opening draft. Big news before the show started. Saquon Barkley signs a 1-year, $11 million contract back in the fold for the New York Giants in an NFC that someone's got to come up there and nip the Philadelphia Eagles. It's open. It's there. Go win some games. It's JJ Buck, DC, our quarterback, Ned James, with you here on the Sports Animal, 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animal Hotline. Dan, you're on the Sports Animal. What's going on, Dan?
Hey, how you doing, fellas? Yeah, I just wanted to talk on that Barkley thing. It's about time the Giants signed this guy. And the other thing I'm wondering as a fan and everything, how come these running backs aren't being signed by the teams? Now, the thing that they're saying is, oh, these guys get run down and this and that. But the bottom line is, I don't care what team you want. Wouldn't you want to have Delvin Cook in your backfield? I mean, and you're going to spend the money for the guy? The thing with these guys that are holding out, they're not your average running backs. Every single one of them is a home run hitter. That means they get the ball, they can run straight to the house. And you know that. And the Giants should have given the franchise tag to Jones and signed Barkley for the money. And years ago, the New York Times, and You talk about the Times getting rid of their sports section. They did a whole thing on contracts and how they do contracts. And no matter what position, no matter what sport you play, they take you at an age and they'll take an older player and a younger player and they'll say, okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to decline. And they show it to them. And they say, why are we going to invest in you if you're going to decline? The bottom line is, and I understand that. But when you got people like this, like a Barkley, you got a Delvin Cook, you don't let these guys go. They're home run hitters. I think there may be collusion in the NFL with these running backs, and I think the NFL Players Association needs to take a special look at that position and protect them in the long run so they can make their money as young men and set themselves up for life, man. And that's all I got, fellas. Thank you, man.
Appreciate the phone call, Dan. And to me, I look at these running backs, and if I have one of those guys, and you know that a guy that is different, like Saquon Barkley, a Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook, to a certain extent, he had over 1,100 yards the last few seasons. I would be willing to make a higher investment over a short amount of time. I would, and I think that's probably the concession that we'll see from the running backs to teams. It's similar to the Lamar Jackson conversation. Like, stop telling me what Lamar Jackson is going to be 10 years from now. That does not matter to me. I want to maximize who Lamar Jackson is right now. And Baltimore and Lamar Jackson settled on a 5-year deal, which made a lot of sense. And I think with star running backs, I think that would be the thing. I'd be willing to give Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs a lot of money over a shorter amount of time because they are those home run hitters. And I think that's where you got to get to. Everyone wants the 5-year deal with a ton of money, but it just comes down to guarantees. It's not about 4 years. It's just what is guaranteed in the contract. And if these running backs can get a little bit bigger bite of the apple, these teams, all right, maybe it's shorter contract, bigger guarantees. That's where it feels like it's going to be a win-win. You get your playmaker, not under contract, you not have this huge hit. Just give them the money, short-term deal, get it done, boom, go try to win some games.
Yeah, it's just the ugly side of sports. Anytime you're talking contracts, money, you're just talking, agents and negotiations. That's just the ugly side of any sport, even college nowadays with NILs and all that. People don't want to hear about what you're making. Well, they just want to enjoy watching you play, want to enjoy seeing talent, and they want to see talent rewarded. And this is what happens when you're posturing and negotiating, and everybody knows everything nowadays because the salaries are being disclosed and that sort of thing. So this is what happens. People getting their feelings a little bit about the money part of it, but they deserve what most people deserve playing that sport, and they deserve their fair share, and you've got to have a good agent.
One of the great things you say, Ned, because I know a lot of people question most of the things you say.
I would if I was them.
Everyone deserves a championship bank account.
That's right,
and I agree with that. Everyone deserves a championship bank account. But speaking of bank accounts, DC, you've been hot on this morning. If you are an NFL fan, a Bronco fan, it's an opportunity to get an NFL game up in Denver.
That is true. So every year, and this is written into Colorado law, they have to sell 2,000 tickets to every home game at half price. Today is that day. 10 o'clock, they will go on sale. They're going to sell out in 15 minutes. So if you log into Ticketmaster right now, though, pick your game, get set up. You can go for half price, see an NFL game. It's a very unique opportunity. I encourage everyone to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you said, hey, maybe it might be a little higher in the stadium, but it's still a chance to get in the stadium.
Yeah, it's the best way to get into an NFL game.
Yeah, especially these days. And I think for a lot of people, that experience is definitely getting lost. Because, you got to pay money to do things. We get that in life, but especially the NFL game. Like, for me, you kind of have to pull my leg a little bit right now to get me to go to an NFL game, because I'm like, I got Red Zone. I can sit at home and watch every single NFL game. Like, that's
you don't want to sit at home. You don't want to sit at home. You want to be outside. Nobody wants to sit at home. Everybody wants to go outside.
There's nothing better.
They want to tailgate. They want to smell barbecue in the parking lot. They want to be able to socialize. We're social animals. We have to be out and about.
Yeah, but I can do that on Saturday. I can hang out with you at University Stadium for a little while. Yeah. But on Sunday,
we're fortunate.
10 a.m.
And Sunday's supposed to be a day of rest.
Yeah, day of rest on my couch watching the Red Zone.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding.
But you can't convince family members of that. You got a little kid that wants to run around.
Well,
He's
yeah.
kicking on you. Dad, let's go out and throw the ball.
That's always a
Dad, let's
challenge.
do that in the parking lot of a football
Well, that's
game.
why we have all these sweet deals. That's why it's wine week right now. You log on to sportsanalytiq.com, all the wineries in town and the deals we have going on all week. This is the time that you put in that investment. So then on Sundays, you can have your day. That's what we do.
That's right. That's right. That's what we do this hard work. That's why we put in these hours slaving away so we can have the weekends to relax.
Absolutely.
And enjoy.
Sitting
with
back
the family
watching Reds. But that's a
and
cool
friends.
deal. If you're able to get in half
Cigar
price
and an oat soda.
tickets. Enjoy it. The cigar and a soda.
And an oat soda.
And an oat soda?
Yeah.
What is an oat soda?
You never heard of oat soda before?
No.
That's
What are you doing in California, Ned? California's changing.
California's.
You're a
Yeah,
California
it is.
kid.
It's the palm trees. It's the palm trees. That's why.
We'll get you back in Albuquerque soon
I'll be
enough.
back soon.
Just
Yes.
shoot football season right around the corner. A little football starting camp here in a couple of weeks. Got to get ready for that. We got to get ready for that pregame show.
That's
Love
right.
Football.
Love that pregame show. You know I love that pregame show. I'm fired up already. I've been researching since June. I can't wait for football to start.
Texas A&M College Station, the first game for
Gig 'em.
Lobo
Aggies.
football. 505-246-0610. Sports Animal Hotline, the Sports Animal text line this morning. We're going to register a few more people before we get out of here for our chance to win a foursome of golf at Sandia Golf this Friday. It's a celebration of you because it's 15 years of the opening drive. Thanks to you that tune in, that listen every single day. What Jeff Symbieta has done for 15 years, it's remarkable, man. It is awesome. Symbieta back tomorrow. But all you got to do is call DC and say, here's my name, and you register to win. That's simple as that. We'll call the winners on Wednesday. It's a foursome of golf at Sandia Golf Club. We're doing a big celebration. You might have heard the 15-year little year in reviews that we've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. But now we're going to turn that fun over to you. Just call DC, give them your name. We're going to pick winners tomorrow for a foursome of golf at Sandia Golf Club. 505-246-0610. Want to thank Josh Shushan, voice of the Topes, for joining us. James Atkins, former NFL offensive lineman. That was a lot of fun. Troy Calhoun, Air Force head coach, and Ned James, man. Always appreciate the time. Can't wait until you're back in studio with us.
Yes.
Football season is upon us. DC, good work, man. Appreciate you. Adrian, always looking good, putting up with us. We got Jim Rome Show coming up next. Colin Cowherd follows that. 2 men on will take you into Isotopes Baseball as they start that 12-game homestand. Back at it tomorrow. Symbieta returns. The opening drive coming at you at 7 a.m. Everybody, Meta World, peace and love. Have a great day.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.